Hey guys, hope you all are doing well. So guys, this is our third video on CSS series. In this video, we will discuss about the selectors in CSS. Now remember my word that there are many kinds of selectors. Some are advanced and some are basics. So here I have mentioned three kind of selectors which are very basic to learn, but there are some advanced techniques to use selectors that thing will explore in next upcoming videos. For now you have to remember these three selectors, how to use them, what are the uses, and what is difference between them. Fine. First of all, we will cover our tag. You can see by tag, by class, by id. So we select a particular element from our HTML code to style it. This is where our selector comes into picture. Now we have our first the tag one. I will give you an example of tag. That here I will use some content, that is by using my h1 tag, and here I will write the name of the channel, that is Digital Dashti. Okay, Digital Dashti. Fine. This is my first heading, but I copy this by Control C, then I paste it here. So these are four headings. I save the page, I open my browser. Wait, this is my browser, and I refresh the page. As you can see, we have four headings here. Now what I want to do, I want to make them stylish. I want to change the style. I want to make them stylish. I want to resize them. So this is my code editor. Open your code editor and go in your style element in your head section. This is my head tag. Inside your head tag, open your style tag. Inside your style, you have to use your selector. Now we are using the selector by tag. Now what tag we used here for our content, that is h1. Now I use here h1. H1 is my selector. Now curly brackets. Now I want to colorize these headings by using my color property, and use a colon, and use your blue value and a semicolon. Now save it, go open your browser, refresh your page. As you can see, the CSS code we wrote there, it is applied here. Our four headings has been colorized. Now what if I don't want these three headings to not be colorized, but the last heading should be colorized. Now this is where our class and id comes into picture. Now what I do here, this is my h1 tag. Now all are by default blue. Now this is my fourth heading. In fourth heading I give it a class, or you can also give it an id, but I'm giving it class, and the class name is head 4. Now I save it. Fine. Now come in your style tag. Now below this h1, remember I write my selector class. How you can use your class selector? By using dot. This is your dot. Now use the value of class which you have given inside your h1 tag, that is my head 4. This is my head 4 selector. This is class selector. Fine. This is our second example. Now use your curly braces. Now I want to color it red, so I use my color property and a colon and red value and semicolon, and save it, open your browser, refresh the page. So what happened here? Actually, we have overridden our h1 tag by using class and change the color. Remember, by using the color is by default the color is blue, but here what we have done, this is our first code. Now we wrote below some code, so this code has overridden the h1 tag. Now the color has changed of the fourth heading. Now you have a question, I know, in your mind, that what is id. I use id for my third heading. Here I give hi id. Fine. This is my id. and the value I will write here head 3. Now I change the color of my third heading. Fine. So what you have to do, if you are using id as a selector, so to select your particular id you have to use hash. This is your hash. Now head 3, use a curly braces. Now I will change the color of this particular heading into yellow. Fine, I will use it as a yellow. Yellow is my value and a semicolon. Now save it, open your browser, refresh the page. So as you can see, the color has changed into yellow. So now you have a question in your mind, what is difference between a class and an id? The difference is that every element should have a unique id. You cannot put the same id in multiple elements. You can only use a unique id for each element. Fine. Now what is class? You can use class, the same class, in multiple elements. I hope you have got an idea. Let me give you an example. This is my class. I change the name of the class is head 4. I just name it head, class head. Now I copy this class by control C. Now this is my second heading. I paste it here, and I also paste in my first heading. As you can see that we have given the same class in our 3 headings, number 1, number 2 and number 4. Now save this. Now come here, we don't have right now head 4, so this is our only head and the color is red. Fine, this is our class selector, head, and color is red. Now save it, open your browser, refresh the page. You can see by using same value in class we have changed 3 headings, the color of 3 headings. Now in id you cannot do it. In id you cannot give the same id to multiple elements. This is the difference only. Where we use id whenever we create layout of the website, so we have header section. Header section has only one tag. That's where we use our id. We give it a unique identity to a particular element. Fine, I hope you have got an idea. I hope your concept has cleared about it. So take care. I will see you in next episode. I hope you are enjoying the entire series.